Do not click on the share screen unless your speech rules require you to do so. You can display a high five or namaste when taking over or leaving from a role. You can connect with the Tech Master for any technical glitch. The Tech Master for today's meeting is me myself, Toastmaster Sachin. If you are a speaker, then please ensure you to pin the timer or confirm that the same is visible at all times. The meeting is being recorded. In case you have any reservations, please let us know. You can network during the break and after the meeting. Let me share the mission of the club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in a greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, with that, let me introduce presiding officer for today's meeting, Distinguished Toastmaster Ankit Das Gupta. Distinguished Toastmaster Ankit Das Gupta has been a Toastmaster for over 6 years. Presently, he is serving as Division M Director in District 98. Previously, he has served the district as Club Extension Chair, Area Director, and Assistant Division Director, and has served in club officer roles such as Vice President Membership, Vice President Education, and Treasurer. He is currently serving as President of Speakers Community Toastmaster Club. Professionally, he is banker, working with the Standard Chartered Bank, along with public speaking. He is passionate about running marathons and playing sports such as football and basketball. With that, I welcome presiding officer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Ankit Das Gupta, to take you forward for the further proceedings. Over to you, Ankit.
Thank you so much. 1 second. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I think I'll use this. Thank you so much, Zoom Master. Would request you to please spotlight me. Yes. Toastmasters and guests, welcome to the 11th meeting of Speakers Community Toastmasters Club. It's a privilege to be your presiding officer for the day. And today we have a wonderful meeting set up for all of you. Before we begin with the meeting, I would like to welcome our new member in our club. Our new member is Toastmaster Divya. Welcome Toastmaster Divya to the club. I would request you to, if possible, please turn on your video so that all the members can see you.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Yeah, I think I've turned on my video. I'm not sure, but I could see.
Okay.
Could you see me or could you hear me?
Yes. I can see you.
Yeah.
Great.
So thanks for the warm welcome.
Welcome Toastmaster Divya. One thing that we do in our club is that for every member who joins, we have something called the Toastmasters promise that we would want the member to go through. So the same, I would request you to go through the promise. I'll say the promise aloud, and at the end of the promise, you can say I do. And this is also for all the members of the club and Toastmasters in general. You can also go through the promise and just say I do when I talk about the promise. So let me say the promise aloud. So Toastmaster Divya, as a member of Toastmasters International and Speakers Community Toastmasters Club, you promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all your projects to the best of your ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting roles and assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all the members to learn and grow, to serve the club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat fellow club members and guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so that they can see the benefit Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters education and recognition program, to act within Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all meeting assignments. Toastmaster Divya, do you promise to uphold these promises?
Yeah, I do.
Great. Thank you, Toastmaster Divya. You are now a member of our club, and I would request Toastmaster Sachin to please share the certificate of Toastmaster Divya. Congratulations, Toastmaster Divya, and welcome to our club. We look forward to you taking up roles and your speeches. Sachin, if you can take a photograph quickly.
Yes, I have taken.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Divya, and looking and forward to you having in our club and all the meetings forward. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ankit. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Now we also have a few Toastmasters who have come and graced us with their presence and also have graciously taken up roles. So I would like to thank them. We have Toastmaster Lancy, we have Toastmaster Swapna, we have Toastmaster Snehal, we have Toastmaster Haripriya who have come. Thank you for coming to a club, and I hope you enjoy the meeting that we're having today. Thank you. Next, I would like to call some of our guests who have joined our meeting today to just maybe introduce yourself to all the members and how did you come to know about Toastmasters and what are your expectations. So I'll just call the guests one by one. You can quickly come and just let us know about yourself and what are you expecting out of the meeting. So first, I see that we have Chavi here. Chavi,
Yeah, hi.
hi Chavi.
Good evening, everybody. Okay.
Chavi, you can just talk about yourself and how did you come to know about Toastmasters and what are expectations.
Yeah, so I'm based out of Mumbai and I'm working in a corporate for almost 20 years now. So I just got to know through, I don't know, I had checked this somewhere. In fact, most surprisingly, I was looking out for something for my child, that if something, something similar platform is available for kids. And then I just got to know about this for people at our level, and I thought, let me just see, what are the things which are taken up in such platforms. And certainly it was highly intriguing, and I just wanted to see how people come on come in the forums and talk about any subject, so that this is the reason why I'm here. So now I'm here for myself, and I thought it would be good to talk to people, to share your messages, to share what you want to speak, or to listen to people what they have to speak, and see how we can progress together. So just this much
Great.
about myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Chavi, and we look forward to having you in our club, and we can talk post our session about how you liked it. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Next, we have our guest, Pratik. So I spoke with Pratik today itself, and thanks, Pratik, for joining. So if you can introduce yourself to all the members here, and just a short introduction of what are you expecting from the session. Pratik, you're on mute, Pratik.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I was saying thank you for having me here. And so I got to know about the Toastmasters Club through a friend of mine. And this is only my second meeting which I'm attending. And my expectations are to for this platform to help me become a better speaker and a leader in future. And thank you once again.
Great. Thanks, Pratik. We look forward to having you in our further meetings, and I'm sure we'll connect post our meeting once the meeting is done and get your feedback. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next, we have a guest, Prince. Prince, if you can turn on your video and just introduce yourself. Okay. The next guest that we have is guest Dheeraj Singh.
Hello, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, Dheeraj.
Okay, so I reside in Navi Mumbai and I got to know about Toastmaster through internet, and I have a little conversation with Madhavi ma'am. So what I see with the Toastmaster is to learn public speaking and remove the fear of this coming on the stage and all these things, and be little bit fluent in English speaking. Okay.
Great. Thanks. Thanks, Dheeraj.
Okay. Thank you.
I hope you have a good session and we can connect post the session. Thank you. There's one thing that I've forgotten, that is to start the meeting with the gavel. So I have the gavel with me. So I open the meeting, and with this, I hand over the stage now to our Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster of the day is a professional who's working at Wipro as a marketing analyst. He likes reading non-fiction and business turnaround stories. He's been a charter member of our club, and today he's going to talk something related to our Mother Earth. So, with a huge round of applause, please welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Dnyanesh Prabhu. Dnyanesh, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. It is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to Speakers Community Toastmasters Club. For the benefit of the guests, I'd like to explain the structure of our meeting. Our meeting is divided into 3 rounds. The first round is prepared speeches. Here, members will be delivering speeches based on their projects and paths they have chosen. The second round is table topics. In this round, members can practice impromptu speaking. Guests are also welcome to participate in this round. The third round of our meeting will be the evaluation round. Prepared speeches and other aspects will be evaluated in this round. The evaluation will be done by the general evaluator and the auxiliary team. As the Toastmaster of the day, it is my duty to introduce the role players of the day. First, let me introduce our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Aarti. Over to you, Toastmaster Aarti.
Dear Lord, waking up today is such a wonderful blessing from you. Please put a shield around my loved ones today. Heal our family, our community, our country, and the whole world from this pandemic. Wrap up with your love and protection. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misusage of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it's my duty to introduce the word of the day and the phrase of the day. For today's meeting, word of the day is enchanting, meaning very pleasant. For example, the main attraction of Northeast is its enchanting scenery. The phrase of the day is on cloud 9. For example, the grandmother was on cloud 9 to see her grandchild after a long time. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word and the phrase of the day. I will give my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aarti.
Thank you.
R counter. The R counter for the day is Toastmaster Naran. He will help us. He'll help the speakers and the table topic speakers by counting the repetitive words and filler words like Over to you, Toastmaster Naran.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters of the day, Toastmasters, and guests. I am the counter for the day. As a counter, I will note words, sounds that are used as crutch or fillers by the speaker. During the meeting, I will listen the crutch words such as and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for the filler sounds such as or. I will not when speaker repeat the phrases such as I, or this mean, and of a long or short pauses. I will give my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naran. Our next role player of the day is the timer. Our timer for the day is Toastmaster Preetham. Over to you, Toastmaster Preetham.
As it is said that time and tide waits for none, and also time is money, and so is believed in a community that time is valuable. So good evening, welcome, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am the timer for the day. As a timer, my duty is to time the prepared speeches, table topics, and the evaluation sessions. For the prepared speeches, the time allotted is as per the project and will be stated by the evaluator. For instance, for icebreaker speech, the time allocated is 4 to 6 minutes. For the table topics, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. For the evaluation session, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. The speakers must meet the specified time limits in order to qualify for the award at the end of the meeting. I will display the time cards following. Green screen will be visible on minimum qualifying time, yellow screen will be visible at midpoint of the qualifying range, and the red screen will be visible on the maximum qualifying range till the end of the speech. For prepared speeches and evaluation, the speaker has a grace of 30 seconds before the minimum qualifying time and after the maximum qualifying time. For table topics, there is a grace of 30 seconds after the red screen is displayed. For all the speakers who continue to speak beyond 30 seconds, grace will not be qualified for the vote. I will report the time taken by the speakers when called upon. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmasters of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Preetham. Our theme for today is Restore Our Earth. This week, we celebrated the World Earth Day. The Earth Day is celebrated every year on 22nd of April. Its purpose is to demonstrate support for environment protection. The day was first celebrated in the year 1970 and has been celebrated for every year from then on. As Sadhguru said, Mother Earth is so generous. If only we give her the chance, she will restore everything in absolute abundance and beauty. Which is absolutely true. But we as humans have to allow Mother Earth to heal. And that is why we need to take all our efforts to put the first foot forward for environment protection and preservation. Having said that, we have to protect our three most important resources. That is air we breathe, the water we drink, and the land we live on. A lot of enterprises and businesses today have started doing their bit to protect and preserve the environment. The top two agendas for these corporations is to achieve one, net zero CO2 emissions, that is carbon dioxide, and the other, after achieving the first objective, is to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions. A lot of enterprises are taking their bit to achieve these two objectives. Some are even going ahead to use ocean plastics in their products. For example, we have consumer goods companies like Unilever and P&G, which are using recycled ocean plastic to make shampoo bottles and marketing these, obviously for their benefit as well as the earth. Now moving on with our meeting for the day, the next round is prepared speeches. The first speaker for today is Toastmaster Sneha. To read out her objectives, let me call on her evaluator, Toastmaster Ruben. Over to you, Toastmaster Ruben.
Am I visible? Hello?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So, good evening, everybody. I will be evaluating Toastmaster the first speaker, Toastmaster Sneha, and the objectives of her speech are as follows. So Toastmaster Sneha will be attempting her second speech from the second project, the second speech from a second project on level 1. And the purpose of the speech is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply this feedback to a second speech. And this being her second speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from his or her first speech. Wish you the best, Toastmaster Sneha. And over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ruben. For her speech, let me call on Toastmaster Sneha, the first speaker of the day. Toastmaster Sneha, please check your audio and video before we go on with your speech.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
And
Are you able to see the screen, the timer cards?
Yeah.
All right, great. Toastmaster Sneha, trust is the next chapter because you are the author. Trust is the next chapter because you are the author. Toastmaster Sneha.
One of the 5 colleges she had applied for. She felt lost, hopeless, and completely broken. Her professional life was anyways on a standstill. Her personal life was not showing any positive notes. And now her career path seemed to be fading up. After spending almost 2 months in hopelessness and dejection, she decided to change perspective. She decided to enjoy what she had in her hand. She ignored all her failures and looked at what she cared. She started focusing on her
Sneha, you're on mute.
Yeah, you are on mute actually.
Then struck the pandemic. Mid-March, the Prime Minister announced that lockdown is imposed throughout the country. It brought her another important plan to a halt. She started again feeling lost, but this time she decided to stay optimistic. 23rd March, she received a call. Hello, Ms. Neha Patel. Your application for IIM's MBA program is now confirmed. She was dumbstruck. There was silence. He continued, I hope you wish to join this institute. She quickly said, yes, sir. I'm really looking forward to this. Thank you. Who knew that just the thought of staying optimistic would give her such great news during uncertain times? Now let's fast forward to the month of December. Their placement season began. For every college, placement is the most stressful season. There is a lot of negativity, self-doubt, and stress that is built up. People lose trust and start fighting over petty issues. It is definitely not a happy time to be in. Amidst the corona event, they got to know that companies are not responding. Again, stress and fear started filling her head. She was worried about her goals and future, and above all, the repayment of her education loan. Insomnia struck in. She couldn't sleep at nights. After many such days, she decided to take a halt and introspected herself. She then turned back to her past and evaluated every event. What she realized was every storm had always ended with a very positive and a beautiful note. Next morning, she woke up and went for a long walk. She shuddered away all her negativity and pledged to walk away from all the negative talks that goes on. She decided to focus on what was in her hands. She started working on herself. She did intense networking and started giving off-campus interviews. Despite the uncertain times, she made sure that she never compromised on her worth and applied to only those roles that she could think of working for. Her friends mocked her and told her to not be so choosy and stupid during such times. But she was optimistic that this will not go in vain. 5th January 2021, the first opening of a role of her choice was floated. She applied for it. From around 100 candidates, she was among the two who were to be shortlisted. She cleared the first round and she was optimistic about her selection. But after second round, she again started doubting herself. She became pessimistic. And despite being the only candidate to have reached the second round, she was not selected. She again got an opportunity. Another role floated, of a role of her choice. This time she decided not to be pessimistic about any of the event. Fast forward 10 days. After 2 hours of intense interviews, she got a call from the HR. This time it was to discuss her compensation, location, and joining date. Her happiness knew no bounds. She was on cloud 9. All the skepticism had waved off. The girl who I am talking about all this while is right in front of you. When I looked at that offer letter, I got the biggest learning of my lifetime. That is, it is we who create our destiny. Our fate is not decided by God or some superpower. It is the result of what goes in here, in our mind. So, my dear friends, we all know life cannot be full of happiness and success. Nothing in nature blooms all around the year. There are going to be downfalls and some very severe ones. But to emerge out of them, all you need to do is tame yourself to be optimistic. Make optimism not just your mindset, make it your behavior, make it your addiction, and trust the next chapter because you are the author. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sneha. That was a fantastic motivational speech there. I am sure all the Toastmasters and guests would have something to take from that. Our next speaker for today is distinguished Toastmaster Ankit. Toastmaster Ankit is also the club president and the presiding officer for today. To discuss about his objectives, let me call on his evaluator, Toastmaster Swapna. Over to you, Toastmaster Swapna.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Thank you. Today, the purpose statement of the speech, which Toastmaster TM Ankit is undertaking, is connect with storytelling. The purpose of this project for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that's a story. Timer, please note the speech time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker. Over to you, TM Modi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Swapna. Toastmaster Ankit, can you check your audio and video? And are the timer cards visible to you?
Am I audible? Am I visible?
Yes, you are. The timer cards visible?
1 second. Yeah, the timer cards are visible to me.
Okay, let's go on with the speech. Toastmaster Ankit, those three words, Toastmaster Ankit.
I am on stage. Multitude of people in front of me. Multiple eyes gazing at me. I'm about to deliver a 7-minute speech at my school. But before I could start talking, my legs start shivering. And in those 7 minutes, the only words I could utter were, India is my country. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmasters guests, and anyone who's gone blank on stage. At the age of 12, I participated in my first elocution contest. I was on cloud 9. I wanted to give an enchanting speech, enthrall the audience, and win that cup. The results were announced, and I stood first from the bottom. I had failed. Dejected and disappointed, I resolved never to speak on the stage again. After the results, I rushed back home, and my mom was at the door. Now, my mom is a beautiful woman. Well, all mothers are beautiful to their sons and daughters, but my mom is lovely and unique. You know why? Because she loves cooking and is so engrossed in this art that when anyone comes home, her first question is not, how are you? It's, what can I cook for you? So I was not surprised when my mom saw me and said, what can I cook for my winner? Hearing that last word coming out of my mom's mouth, winner, I had tears in my eyes. Mom, I have failed. I've let you down. I want to quit. But before I could stop speaking, she hugged me tight, held my hands, looked at me with gleaming eyes of perseverance and said those 3 words, son, never give up, whatever be the circumstances. Never give up. Those 3 words, those 3 powerful words were engraved in my mind that day. Toastmasters and guests, Michael Jordan said, and I quote, I have not been able to clear more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have failed over 300 games. I have lost over 300 games. I have failed again and again, but I never gave up. And that is the reason I succeeded. My dear friends, have you ever given up on that dream to achieve or get into a prestigious college, or the dream to build a wonderful house, or the dream to win the best speaker award in Toastmasters? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then let me tell you that these all are unfulfilled wishes and dreams because we gave up too soon. Ever pondered why did we give up? Because in our journey, in achieving our dreams, we fell down. We failed. And we realized that failure to achieve our dreams hurts. And to protect ourselves from experiencing that hurt, that pain again, we conveniently convince ourselves to give up. But my question today is, do we have the courage to not give up on our dreams when the easier option is to just quit trying? I know a remarkable person called Seema, and she taught me that it is the courage to not give up on our dreams that makes us achievers. Seema had the dream to become a dancer, but life was not easy on her. At a young age, she lost her parents. And just a few years after their death, she lost both her legs in a tragic accident. Appalled and alone in this atrocious world, if anyone had the right to give up on their dreams, Seema did. But today, Seema is a wonderful professional potter. With the poise and perseverance in her hands, she makes the most beautiful pots for the eyes to behold. One day I asked Seema, but Seema, what about your dream of becoming a dancer? With a smile on her face, she told me, what if I can't dance with my legs? I have put all my dancing skills in my hands and they do the magic. And she gave me this beautiful vase that she had made. Seema taught me that we can shape our lives in the most beautiful way if we have the courage to not give up on our dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm passionate about public speaking and I want to make a difference in everyone's lives with my words. But in my journey from my first elocution contest to the level 3 Project 1 speech today, I have failed many times. But every time I fail, I remember those 3 words that Seema and my mother taught me. And I keep trying. I'm on stage, multitude of people in front of me, multiple eyes gazing at me. I have delivered a 7-minute speech and my legs are not shaking. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. That was an inspiring speech. Our next speaker and the final speaker for the day is Toastmaster Sherin. To speak about her objectives, let me call on her evaluator, Toastmaster Anand. Over to you, Toastmaster Anand.
Yeah, am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. After that enchanting speech by distinguished Toastmaster Ankit, to get you on cloud 9, we have Toastmaster Sherin. Toastmaster Sherin is attempting her speech from level 2, project on understanding your leadership style. The purpose of this project is for the member to identify her primary leadership style or styles. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of her primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. Timer, please note, timing is 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. Toastmaster Sherin, can you check your audio and video before we get started?
Yes, so am I audible?
Yes, you
Am I visible?
Yes. Are you able to see the timer card?
Yes, and I also need to share a PPT, so I'll be doing that also.
All right. So Zoom Master, can you, have you made her the co-host to share?
Yes, I am.
All right, great. Can we get started?
Yes.
Toastmaster Sherin, first lead yourself. First lead yourself, Toastmaster Sherin.
First, lead yourself, featuring an annoying guest. Let me ask you a question. Who do you think is the most difficult person to lead? Is it the know-it-all person, the workaholic person, the lazy guy, the emotional guy? Who is that difficult person? While you all think about that, let me greet everyone. Good evening, Toastmaster of the Day, my fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. According to me, the most difficult and annoying person to lead is this person. Yes, it's me. So it is all sunshine and rainbows when you see these big quotes on social media and Instagram, which says things like a leader who knows the way shows the way. Leadership is an action, not a position. Great leaders don't tell you what to do, they show how it's done, right? But how do you inspire, motivate, coach a clumsy, disoriented, and a serial procrastinator like her? How do you do that? How do you win and also lose the case? So I knew I had to bring in the most big guns that I had. I had to bring in the greatest framework, the set guidelines, and a good schedule in order to bring the best out of her so that I could do all these things. I could give her the best leadership style. So in order to do that, I went on and did a questionnaire through the Toastmasters site in order to know the leadership styles that I had. The three most popular ones that showed up was these three: affiliative, coaching, and democratic. And to be honest, I was disappointed because these are good, happy little leadership styles and not the hardcore ones that usually have things like styles like dominating, dictatorship, autocratic, right? Which would have gotten things done. So what could you do in that case? Let me share how I tried these leadership styles to get things done for her. So I'll tell you a secret. In order to be an effective leader, you have to have things like strength, patience. You have to have tenacity, courage. And if all things go down, if nothing is working, just bribe them with donuts. So that is what I did. I would set up a goal and would ask her to do it. And if she is successful, I would treat her. This would always let me win. So I always would get the task done. So 1 for me, 0 for her. So I changed my hat and then I was in the coaching hat. So me being all humble and good and everything, I asked her to come sit with me and explained it to her humbly and sweetly that, darling, you don't need 3 days to fold your dried clothes. You can't get up early and lay on your bed and waste 30 minutes scrolling on Insta. You can't put in average jokes on your speech and still expect people to laugh. And most days, not all the days, most days I'm successful. Clothes are folded on 2 days and I am early for a meeting, or my jokes click and you guys being all encouraging, you laugh at my jokes or me. But yeah, they do laugh. So that counts and I am winning here. So I get a point and she doesn't. So have I told you how difficult it is to get people to do things that you want them to do without telling them to do? So the easy tip here is you give them options. You tell them that you give them one good option and one a slightly bad option. So being a natural, normal, good human being would select the better option, right? So I did the same. I gave her one option wherein if you wanted to get things done, what you could do is you could schedule it throughout the day, throughout the week. For example, you could do one on the first day, do something on the third day, fifth day, and by the end of it, by on the 7th day, you could get all the things done. You could be sane, you could be less stressful, it could be less stressful, and you could do everything successfully. Or you could pretend that you are working, you could waste all the time till the end, you could keep Googling on poopy questions like if a vegan photographer shoots an animal, is he still vegan? And stress at the end of it and say that you don't have time, have a mild panic attack, cry a little, still scroll on Insta, and then work all through the night, look like a panda the next day, and then submit your work. So these were the two options. A normal person would have selected the first one, but no, she always selects the second one. So here I'm always losing the game. So here she gets 1 point and I don't. So in conclusion, what I wanted to say is you could be a democratic leader, an autocratic leader, a visionary leader, a pace setter like Master Shifu, and transformational, or you could be a mixture of everything and still fail. Because if you can't lead yourself, how are you going to lead others? So I ask you to search in yourself if you are if you are doing, if you are leading yourself, and if not, first lead yourself. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharon, for sharing wonderful perspectives about leading. It is indeed important to lead ourselves and drive ourselves first before we try to lead the world. So, with that, we come to an end with our first round of today's meeting, the prepared speeches. While we have the polls, let me discuss something more about restoring Mother Earth. We're taking a lot of efforts, like I discussed, individually, collectively, by enterprises, by governments, by everybody. But is that enough? Like as statistics show us, Arctic ice is melting, global temperatures are rising. So clearly, the efforts that we are taking are not enough. As they are not enough, Mother Earth has its own way of healing ourselves. I'm pretty sure all the members and guests present today, amongst all of us, the COVID-19 pandemic is one of the worst human disasters that we've come across in our lives. It is indeed a disaster, but one could say it could be a boon in disguise, as while the businesses are shut down, people are back at home, industries are not running, we're not burning fuel to travel. Mother Earth is indeed healing herself. And while she heals herself, there are some staggering scenes that come to our notice. After a very long time, last year I read a news article that millions of olive ridley turtles had come to lay their eggs on one of the eastern beaches in India. Indeed, while we're locked up inside our homes, battling for our lives, Mother Earth is healing. And like Sadhguru said, it is so magnificent that if we give her a chance, she will give everything in absolute beauty and abundance. But she is so beautiful, I feel, that while we fall short, she has her own ways of restoring herself. The next part of today's meeting is the table topic session. The table topic session, for conducting the table topic session, let me call on stage table topics master Lindsay. Over to you.
Dnyanesh, before that, can you take the timings of the prepared speeches, please?
Sure. Timer Sachin, can you please share your timer reports?
Hello. Hello, am I audible and visible?
Sorry, Preetham.
Okay. Yes. So time taken by Toastmaster Sneha is 6 minutes 8 seconds. The time taken by Toastmaster Ankit is 7 minutes, and time taken by Toastmaster Serin is 6 minutes and 37 seconds. So all qualify.
Thank you, Toastmaster Preetham. So as we move to our next topic, the table topic session, let me call on the table topics master, Toastmaster Lindsay. Over to you, Toastmaster Lindsay.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Lindsay Bijoy and I am the table topic master for the day. Table topic session is an impromptu speech session of a Toastmasters meeting. It's an interesting session which will give a chance to Toastmasters and guests to sharpen their listening, thinking, organizing, and speech delivery skills. For table topics, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. Green screen will be showed at the end of 1 minute. Yellow screen at 1.5 minutes. Red at 2 minutes. A grace period of 30 seconds is given to qualify for the vote. Speaker has to speak for a minimum of 1 minute in order to qualify for the voting. All speakers are requested to use the word of the day and the phrase of the day while giving their speech. I encourage all the members and guests to participate in this session. Let us now begin. So is there anybody who would like to volunteer? Can I see some show of hands? Who would like to go first? Any of the role players?
Then we have Haripriya who wants to go.
Yeah, Haripriya, can you switch on your video? I can't see you yet. We just check whether you're audible.
Okay, just give me a second to switch on.
Okay. Yes. So the topic for you is Battle with COVID-19 Pandemic. Toastmaster Haripriya Cherekar. Topic is Battle with COVID-19 Pandemic.
Okay. Thank you so much, the Table Topics Master. So basically asking me a question who the person has just had a COVID test in the morning today. And frankly speaking, I didn't like it. The person was actually literally putting those kind of what I don't even know what they say for that inside my nose and inside my mouth. So I was literally, I'm not feeling after that well. I am feeling that why did I even go for that? So I suggest I better not to take any test, even if you don't have anything, if you even feel to have something. So I'm feeling bad after that. So battle is right now going on inside me. That's first point. And coming on to the duration of this last year, what I can say is I never seen that COVID was bad for me in this year. In fact, I utilized this COVID situation to improve myself and also my family members, because this particular COVID situation has made me a good bond with my father, with my mother, and as well my sister and my brother, where we spend a lot of time, and in fact, a lot of challenges of the family have been resolved. And in fact, together with the professional life as well, where I realized I can expand my horizons to different professions. So I don't say that COVID was really bad to me and my family. In fact, it was really good. So this COVID situation, I can say, I don't know exactly what that quote is, but in Hindi, I can say that dar ke aage jeet hai and all. So there were a lot of risky situations, but still we have gone through all together. So basically, it's a battle which is a win-win situation to every one of us. Yeah, thank you, and over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Haripriya. Who would like to go next? Anyone self-nominating themselves?
I think Manas has unmuted himself.
Yes. Have you managed to switch on the video, Toastmaster Manas? Yes.
Yeah.
The topic is my favorite historic figure, Toastmaster Manas, my favorite historic figure.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lindsay, for the wonderful topic. My favorite historic figure. That as an entrepreneur, I am just that when someone called me that to think about that some figures, to think about any calculation, mathematical calculations, then I am just my starting point is that from that million, billion, and all that things. So I actually during my academic period, I am very that all teachers have told me that Manas, you are very poor in that history, that you are not remembering that this year, this all the things. Actually, I am really bad, and I do not want to remember all those things, and it is not actually useful for that in practical life. And I suggest to all my fellow members to that historic figure is that what you earn in last 10 years back, and what you like to earn in 10 years going forward. That is the history figure for each and every people. So you don't need to remember that what Puru has done, when Taj Mahal has built. Yes, it as a individual, as a Indian, as a citizen of India, we need to remember, but that is not a hard and fast. But you need to remember after 10 years where you want to go. That is your historic figure. That year is your historic figure. So thank you, Toastmaster Abdul Lindsay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manas. May I invite the next would be going next. Is there any other guest who would be interested to participate?
Lindsay, Divya has put a hand up.
Okay, great. Toastmaster Divya, I have your topic. Sky is not the limit when there are footprints on the moon. I repeat, sky is not the limit when there are footprints on the moon. Toastmaster Divya.
Sorry, you are on mute.
Yeah, just unmute yourself, Divya.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So I think the saying that you say that the sky is not the moon, the sky is not the limit, given that there are footprints on the moon. So I would say this is something that we should all look into, because for every person that is there on the earth, whenever you go and achieve some goal, there is a scope for you to achieve more. And when you achieve a specific accomplishment in your life, it motivates you to work harder, it motivates you to work better and put in more of your efforts to achieve greater heights. So I am a science person. I am an engineer by profession. So what I think is the accomplishments that we as a humankind have achieved throughout these years has been the result of dedicated perseverance efforts of scientists, of engineers, of economists, of statistics. So yeah, so in that regards, I think it is sky is not the sky should sky should not be considered the limit, given that there are footprints on the moon. So we should give more attention to achieving greater heights and not restrict ourselves towards simpler topics or towards small achievements.
Great.
Oh, do I have to go on? Could I go on?
Thank you. If you're done, I think you're done, Divya. You want to add more?
No, I could go on, but I don't know what's the time. Yeah,
you can go on.
Okay, it's fine.
Yes. Okay, I think Toastmaster Divya is closing her speech. I think yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Toastmaster Divya. Inviting the next person who would like to go. Any of the role players? Guess.
All right. Lindsay, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm okay.
Okay, yes. Great. Okay, so we have Toastmaster Lancy.
Wait a minute. I think someone else did that, and that person doesn't have a role. That person should get that first.
Okay,
someone said at the same time a volunteer. So I would suggest.
No, please go ahead. I have evaluation as well. So.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. The topic for you, Toastmaster Lancy, is well begun is half done. Topic is well begun is half done. Toastmaster Lancy.
I strongly believe that this is a pretty debatable thing because it's my frame of mind. And if I'm set about something, which is a goal that I really need to accomplish, then I really wouldn't be pondering about it or procrastinating it. And I'm going to be assertive in a very simple sense is that when I had my niece who was based with an NGO in Chandigarh and she relocated back to Mumbai due to the COVID thing, she called me up around the 2nd of March and said, Uncle, we have a particular charitable show that's got to be done at King George V Memorial Hospital at Mahalakshmi. And I said, wow, that's pretty interesting because we really need to reach out to people. And I said, so who's the audience? And she said, it's a whole lot of senior citizens. And then it clicked because right now in this COVID situation, ladies and gentlemen, the senior citizens are being affected tremendously. I mean, things have been well begun with the COVID part of it out there, but today you know that it's all in shambles. It's really half done when it comes to the whole government machinery that's come in. Oxygen, people are dying, senior citizens are being left destitute, etc. And so when I said that if that's well begun and if it's really half done, then I've got to contribute myself and do the rest of it and finish it off in there. So we walked off. We organized this and we walked off on the 25th of March into the portal of this King George, the memorial, which was established in 1886. There were 33 men over the age of 50, 55, and there were almost 26 women, all segregated against it, destitutes. Senior citizens who were left on the streets, no relatives, nothing at all. And 25th of March was just on the eve of Holi. Can you imagine? At that point of time, we were strangers when we walked in there. There were 5 of us, volunteers out there. We played music. We had bingo for them. We had the whole 9 yards. We picked up gifts for them. And then, of course, we had that traditional tilak on all their foreheads. When we left in there, what had started off, which was half begun with the government, we ended that with a particular note. And as we left that particular place, we gave them that intimacy and the love, which was well begun, but half done and fulfilled by us 5 volunteers on the 25th of March. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lancy. Who would like to nominate next?
And so we have Swapna.
Okay, Toastmaster Swapna, may I have you come on the video, please? Yes.
See me?
No, not yet. We can hear you though.
Can you see me now? Because I cannot see myself, so that is something.
It's negligible, I would say. Some.
Okay. Can you see me?
Not yet. However, I'll share the topic. We should go ahead. The topic for you, Toastmaster Swapna, is value yourself first. Value yourself first, Toastmaster Swapna.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. In a family where you are with the values that there is a God inside every person, and I was brought in with these values within me. I need to help the other around me, and I should be the person, whether eating, is about anything. So I eat less than almost everybody. This value is a very good value, but this value sometimes leaves you stranded, hungry, and even what exactly happened. Let me tell you a story. It was my birthday, and as my parents said, you need to yourself last to make sure everybody gets a cake, everybody gets a chocolate. Only then you are supposed to have it. And the place was full of children, and I was running behind everybody to make sure that everybody gets it. And 10 years old, it was my 10 years old birthday. Imagine all the kids were busy running around and they were enjoying themselves. Who wants to eat? But my value said, until and unless every person had it, I won't be able to have. And that I still remember that birthday. I did not get to eat my cake. I did not see even a single chocolate. And till the end of the night, I was tired running behind everyone to make sure that everybody had it. And that's it. So from that day, I decided the value is good, that we need to make sure that everybody has their share, but we also need to make sure that we take care of ourselves, we take care of our happiness, we also take care of we put ourselves first, even if it feels to others that, okay, she's being a little selfish. It is fine to be a little selfish in this world, not entirely, but sometimes put yourself first. Over to you, TTM.
You're on mute.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Swapna. We had a very good table topic session. I now invite the timer to read out the report for this session.
All gave a very good speech. So the timer for the time for today for all speaker is Toastmaster Haripriya took 1 minute 39 seconds. Toastmaster Manas took 1 minute 35 seconds. Toastmaster Divya took 1 minute 25 seconds. Toastmaster Lancy took 2 minutes 26 seconds. And Toastmaster Swapna took 2 minutes 18 seconds. So all qualify for the vote. Thank you.
Thank you. I now request the Zoom master to launch the poll for the table topic session. Has everyone voted, Zoom master?
5 people are remaining. Four are remaining still.
4 are remaining. Request all of you to vote. Fine, even as you all are voting, I hand over this session back to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Dnyanesh Prabhu, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lindsay, for a wonderful table topic session. So before we move forward to the evaluation, I would like to share one small video with all of you regarding climate change.
Dnyanesh, we can't hear.
No. You have to share your audio first while sharing the screen. Share screen again, and there will be option of sharing audio checkbox.
There will be 3 dots at the side of sharing video. You can click on those 3 dots and it will show you to share your audio. Share audio, it will be showing. Those 3 dots you see besides sharing window, besides that you see those 3 dots.
So right, share screen more, right?
Yes, click on that. You
First
will
you have
see that
Recording.
Share audio.
Share computer.
Right, that's the one.
Yes, yes, got it.
So, as we see the climate challenges for today,
A lot of times I used to get very nervous speaking to overseas clients because
right. So, with this, let me hand over to the general evaluator to take the session meeting forward to the evaluation round of the meeting. Toastmaster Lancy, over to you.
Right. Zoom Master, kindly ensure that during this session that you do not mute me because there could be times that I have to speak, right? Okay, fine. The first thing I need to ask Ankit is, I do not know, traditionally we, after every segment, we call the poll. So it was not done for the speakers. Am I right? Can you confirm that it was not done?
right, Lance, it was not done, but I think the Zoom Master launched the poll anyhow.
Oh, he did that because I was not aware.
But it was not told by the team, but the Zoom Master launched the polls.
Okay, because if once it's done in there, then obviously the evaluators cannot influence votes after they finish off with their session, right? Okay,
Right.
good, great. Okay, so I'm going to call upon the first evaluator we've had is Ruben to do the honors of evaluating our first speaker this afternoon was Sneha. Ruben, make yourself known. The spotlight's on you. Take it away.
Right. Quick audio video check. Am I visible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Again, good evening, everybody, and particularly Toastmaster Sneha. I'm a big fan of Tolkien, and for me, J.R.R. Tolkien is like the godfather of adventure stories. And when you read his stories, or rather, when I read his stories, the one thing that that jumped up to me was the actual treasure. So each story had these long quests. So you had Lord of the Rings, you had The Hobbit, but the actual treasure in each story happened during the journey, where the characters decided and realized that they were stronger than they thought they were. That is particularly the thought I had when I listened to your speech, because you began with that story that took us through two parallel narratives at the same time. The first is as you navigated through a very small section of your life, but also the thoughts, or rather the thoughts that you were having while you did that. And those are two parallel lines that you weave together very beautifully, and that is something that I needed to commend you with. From your previous speech, the two main points of feedback that you received were regarding your voice modulation and the idea of using or eliminating or reducing the word I. You switched your entire story to the third person, which completely matched the second criteria. The voice modulation, which according to me was on point. Your voice was clear. You looked dead straight into the camera, which worked very well in your favor. And to be very honest, I like the structure that you used when you narrated your story, or rather your entire speech, where you used this timeline structure, where you took us through various dates as checkpoints to kind of so the speech took us through checkpoints to kind of illustrate, or rather give us a picture of what was happening and when, which kept our attention, at least kept my attention wrapped to your speech. A few points, or rather a few points of feedback. At the beginning of your speech, there was a slight issue with your network connection, due to which I couldn't listen to the initial portion of your speech, which is something for me was a shame, because I would have loved to hear that as well. The second thing is your body language, where you began using your hands, kicked in right maybe a minute or a minute and a half into your speech, which could have begun much earlier. So the more you use your body language, use your hands. I know we are in a Zoom environment, but the more you can use your hands to emphasize your points, kind of can also accentuate and take your speech to another level in itself. Also, when you narrated your story, you could have played roles, or rather took up roles which allowed you to play characters to kind of to give us a picture of various situations through in your entire narrative. And these are certain points that stood out to me. So overall, your speech, your story was on point. You met your criteria. A few points of recommendation was only for your body language and and to experiment with your stories. Wish you all the best for your next speech, and over to you, General Evaluator.
All right, thank you. We've got the next evaluator coming up, and that is Swapna. She's going to do the honors of evaluating our speaker number 2, Ankit. Go ahead.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, Swapna, you're visible, you're audible. You can go ahead.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Stories. Stories have a way to reach out to our heart and induce emotions we never knew we possessed. General Evaluator, Toastmaster of the Day, and Presiding Officer, and my dear future and current Toastmasters. Those 3 words. A catchy title. I'm sure the title was selected by the speaker to make sure that he gets our attention. And trust me, job well done. It was an enchanting speech with this catchy title. The second thing which I liked about the speech is the humor was situational. The trick which was used by the speaker today is called as setup and twist. For example, the humor line which he added, that he won the first prize. Oh no, not from the first, but from the bottom. So that is a situational humor added to the speech. The third thing which I loved about the speech is the emotional connect which was induced with the help of good pauses. He made sure every time he was explaining any emotional situation, he took a pause. For example, he was speaking about the artist, Seema, losing her parents. He took a situational pause when he spoke about she lost her parents. Then he took another pause when he was talking about she losing her legs. So this made sure that the emotion reached out to our heart, and a good pause is what helps you do that. The final thing which I loved the most about this speech is the way it was ended in a full circle. He began and end with the same few sentences, and that is the art of writing speeches. That is to create a full circle so that we get the consistency that the speech has begun and ended well. Few things that could have made this speech better, and most of them are on the content itself. The first one is you had a catchy title, Never Give Up, and it was used in the entire speech only once. You could have used it to inspire emotions and to inspire the audience to never give up. That could have been the takeaway, and that could have been narrated throughout the speech. The second thing is, when you were narrating the sad incident of you losing, you were looking down. Speaker, you're losing me when you're looking down. When you do not have an eye contact with me, even in an online platform, you are losing the audience, and you lost me there. The third thing which I felt, you started with the first story, and then the second story came too late in the speech. I was waiting. This is a storytelling speech. The purpose of it is to connect with storytelling. So what I would have loved is the second story came in a little early, and then the essence of takeaway was explained in the end. So I believe this was a tremendously well delivered speech. A few tweaks on the content could have made this speech a better one. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Great, thank you. We've got the third evaluator, and that is Anand, to do the honors of evaluating our speaker number 3, Shirin. The spotlight's on you. Take it away, Anand. Anand, are you there? Do you want to make yourself known?
Yeah. Am I
Good.
visible and audible?
You're visible, you're audible. But the camera's focused on you, so I can just see you above your... Yeah, that's far
Okay,
better.
perfect.
Great. Shoot, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Sharon, I really enjoyed listening to your speech. Thank you for sharing your insights. That was a well-delivered speech. I observed how you started your speech and connected with the audience by beginning with a question. You went on to break the question into different parts, thereby clarifying it. And this got me hooked on right from the beginning. Mike Sisosia had quoted, if you want to be a leader, the first person you have to lead is yourself. Toastmaster Sharon, your speech indeed did emphasize leading yourself throughout the speech. The thing that stood up to me the most during your speech was the usage of impactful slides. The slides were really apt and humorous as well. I thought it was particularly effective the way you structured your speech and gave out simple stories, giving examples from your personal lives on the different leadership styles. You gave examples for the affiliative style, the coaching style, and the democratic style. I liked your style wherein you mentioned the problem statement, followed by putting yourself in that position and then giving out a solution. You continued this speech, you continued this process throughout the 3 styles, and this helped me to relate your stories with my personal life. And this effectively helped me to understand how I could lead myself. And that is something commendable. Kudos to you. This I am sure it kept not just me, but the rest of the audience also engaged. On some of the feedback that that I noticed that you started speaking more quickly as the speech went on, and there were a couple of words that I didn't quite catch. Take your time and articulate each word. Maybe take a pause and then breathe in. That could help probably. As mentioned before, I like the way how you progress from one part of the speech to another with smooth transitions. This helped me to follow the flow of your speech. I thought it could have been more effective if you could sum up your speech and give a specific message that would, or use a particular quote. Toastmaster Sharon, you did a good job and kept everyone engaged. You definitely use good characters, especially yourself, putting yourself in the shoes and giving examples on how to lead yourself. I felt you connected with the audience well. Take a deep breath, relax, and give specific messages. That's it from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Evaluator Anand. Right, okay. I'm going to start my report. The first thing I need is a timer, Pritam. Can you please give me your timers report for the 3 evaluators that have just concluded their segment?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Lancy. The time for the three evaluators is as follows. The Toastmaster Ruben took 3 minutes 24 seconds. Toastmaster Swapna took 3 minutes 26 seconds, and Toastmaster Anand took 3 minutes 24 seconds. So all qualify for the vote.
All on the borderline. Absolutely great. Can we have the poll, please? Whoever sets up the poll, we can give a minute. All right, so Master,
Yeah,
I
polls
guess
done.
we are set, right? We are okay. Fine. Thank you so much. Right. Let me start off with the tag team, and of course, we have had the meeting that started off on time. So, Preetham, you've just finished off your role. Good. You were alert. You had yours done professionally. You also stated your purpose when you came up and you were asked for your assignment. I would like Naran to do the R counters report, please.
I'm audible to visible. Okay.
Yes, now go ahead. We can see you. Yours.
Started with speaker one, Sneha. Sneha and Ankit both are the flawless. The sharing uses one time and two time, and all were repeated once. And Rubin, the general evaluator, used three times, five times, and three times. Then Anand evaluator uses one time, using one time, and using a two time. The Lancy table topic master uses it two times, like four times. Table topic speaker Hari uses one time, two times, and so four times. Manas, a table topic speaker, uses for three times and two times, and that repeated twice. Divya speaker uses two times, two times, and six times. Lancy uses one time, and the Swapna, I actually lost the connection, so I couldn't hear the Swapna speech. And about the evaluation of Swapna, that was flawless. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you, R counter. I'm sure all of us noticed that you also used a couple of R's, but that's okay. We all do that. Great, okay. Fine. Grammarian Aarti, are you ready with your word of the day enchanting? I'm sure you're going to give us an enchanting feedback. And if you're on cloud nine, I'll bring you back to Earth, Mother Earth, that coincides and resonates with the theme of the day. Take it away, Aarti.
Thank you. The word of the day was used by TM Ankit, TM Kalpana in the chat, TM Swapna, and TM Lancy. The phrase of the day was used by TM Sneha, TM Ankit, TM Kalpana, and TM Lancy. Good usage are dumbstruck, transformational, insomnia, skepticism, bribe the donut, entrepreneur, articulate. Some quotes are one quote from Michael Jordan. I have failed 300 games 26 times. Another from Sadhguru. Mother Earth is so generous. Some other usages, improper usages are, we can say, we can start and not started. It is calculation and not calculations. I can go, not I could go. Switch on the video, not come on the video. Okay, thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Aarti, and thank you for that smile. You walked through that. Great. The meeting started on time. Sergeant at Arms Sachin, and you went through the script. Sachin, That was good with all the housekeeping rules. Right. It's categorically, it's always known that the Sa is the person that sets the mood of the meeting. And Sachin, if you can see you, or would you like to see that smile of yours? Because you were grim when you started off, and I was trying to figure out, did you have a bad day, or was it? The next time you come up, please smile. It sets the tone. Sachin, can I hear a yes from you?
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah, the sound of your voice itself says that you're smiling. I'm glad you got that. We had the presiding officer, Ankit. Wow, okay, suave, composed, cool. You had the whole proceedings with welcoming new members. You had Divya spotlighted. That's a new one, which is really great. A rookie gives a lot of motivational one. And then you had a promise. I'm just trying to figure out, is there a new thing in District 98 when we've got the induction ceremony? Am I right? Is this the induction ceremony, Ankit?
Yes, Toastmaster Lancy. For
Right,
when we
okay.
induct new members, we do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we have an induction ceremony, do we have also that the person puts their hand up and says, yes, I do?
Right. I think I missed this. Right. That's
Yes,
true.
you did that. Yes. I was hoping that that would come in there. And then, of course, also an I or an yes from all the members, because that's an oath that is taken by members. I mean, I knew this all along in there, but I was just trying to figure out because a whole lot of things have changed, the whole modus operandi, things like this, where I need to also update myself. But I'm glad that you confirmed that. That's good. And then when you recognize the volunteers as a presiding officer, that's a pretty good. It speaks a lot about your character, especially when you had them recognized from the other clubs, and then you invited guests as well, right? Okay. One of the things that we've always talked about is that when the presiding officer has got 5 to 7 minutes right at the beginning, which is called a business session traditionally and historically speaking, right? There are two things that come in. One is the communication, and the second one is the leadership skills. So if I'm there as a presiding officer, after I finish off this whole 9 yards, I would then say, all right, members, this is what's happening in District 98. This is what's happening in our division. This is the latest things in there. What happens in this is that the entire mandate uh, responds to that and says, wow, that's great. A presiding officer actually cares for us. We've been having a busy life, but I'm glad for that little nuggets of information. So then that becomes an interaction. And you also have that particular interpersonal relationship with the members. So we always ask presidents, use that 5 to 7 minutes of your business session and relate and talk to members. Right, okay, good. We then had the Toastmaster of the day, Dnyanesh. I was trying to figure out where's the D. And until Ankit came in and said, it's Dnyanesh, and I said, oh, wow, all right, I need to figure this out. Dnyanesh, I will come back later on with your Mother Earth stuff that you've done in there, which is really good. And I'm glad that you have picked up something that's really topical. And it also coincides within the hour of the day, which is the COVID-19 situation. It's catastrophic. It's absolutely horrific. And I think we really don't need to get any of us into denial about this sort of a thing that's happening right now. Fine. The timer, the tag team have already talked about Preetham. The next time you do come in, please ensure that you have each segment after a segment, have the poll. The reason why is that much later on, you should not have during the evaluation or to any of the sessions, any person who comes and talks about a person's performance, and that could influence votes, including the Toastmaster of the day. Imagine, Dnyanesh, when you use wonderful, exciting for one particular person, and the second speaker, you actually do not say anything about the second speaker, and the third speaker, you say, oh, that was a good job. When you do that on 3 different speakers using 3 different tones and 3 different descriptive adjectives, you are actually influencing votes. Am I right? And I don't think I would like that, because if I am in there, I would say it's like, sorry, beg pardon in my mind. You think I did a bad job because you don't appreciate what I did, and only one did was a flawless one, and I was flawed. It works in. And very often this is an emotional thing. It is, because we all as speakers, we would love to be appreciated. So it's so much best that we just refrain from ourselves and say, thank you so much for your speech. Thank you so much for your speech. If you say the wonderful speech, use wonderful for all 3 equated. Does it make sense? Am I right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you so much. All right. Okay, fine. When we came to the grammarian, Aarti, and for anyone who takes up the role, a grammarian role, as I've always said, is a very powerful role, an absolutely powerful role. And I'm sure if you resonate and replicate Shashi Tharoor, then you would know you're a very powerful person, because the very fact that he influences people all over the planet is using the grammar. Grammar is enlightening. It makes us very powerful in a way that we're able to impress and influence, cajole and coerce people. And that's why people take a pathway called the persuasive influence. As a grammarian, have a grid. You've done a good job. But in my opinion, when you have a grid, inappropriate usage, good usage, something that is really, really nice, because a lot of host of speakers this afternoon, a slew of evaluators and the table topics went through the whole gauntlet. And they went through the whole 9 years of speaking so well. There were a lot of words that could have been pulled up. Of course, mispronunciations, one is the secondary part of it in there. I'm glad you picked up quotes. And of course, when you've got jargon, there are some people who say, actually, none other than that. Point it out. These are things, it's refreshing, it's enlightening. We need to take something away from every meeting. Good job, grammarian. And I'm sure you'll take a cue from my book on how you can reinforce health the next time. And for anyone who else takes this role up in there. We've had speaker number 1, Sneha. Trust is the next chapter, and you're the author, right? Okay. I know much later on, because I was trying to figure out why were you having this suspense? Because obviously I knew from day number 1 and from the moment number 1, it's you. And why do you have to have that particular suspense about it? Because it's fine. I own ownership, but I guess the evaluator, because when Anand said that, sorry, it was when your Ruben said that that you're not supposed to use the word I. To a certain extent, I agree. But to a certain extent, when it comes to especially an icebreaker or something that I'm talking about myself, I definitely would use me, myself, and I. I may not use the word I, but definitely I would use me and myself, because I own ownership onto mine. And so, the next time you can use different words and rather say, there were so many people in my class. It was the 5th standard. Instead of saying the word I, you can replicate in there. Great. Speaker number 2, Ankit, those 3 words, first from the bottom, that's what I like, the humor part of it, and I learned something else there. The only thing I felt was when you had your mom and you can dramatize it, because then it's a great stand. The love for your mom and the appreciation and the way that you hold your mom, it's a very different equation when you talk with anybody. If I had to say the same thing, I would have said, my mom is like, she's like the other side of the world. You know what I do? I wouldn't speak about my friends, but my mom is different. My pop is different. Okay. So that's it. You're smiling right now. And I know you're going to take a cue from that. And the next time you're going to smash us up with that mom bit about it. Speaker number 3, Sharon, first lead yourself in there, fair enough in there. Right, Sharon, you went through the whole 90 yards. I'm glad you went through the entire thing. And even your evaluator, Anand, justified it and said in there. But I have known the one way that I tackle this project, and for anyone who wants to take a cue from me, is simple. Simplify the business. Take a problem in your life and solve it. That's your leadership, per se, period. Get it? And then you can say, okay, these are all the leadership, but my leadership is here. I had a problem with my mom. That's it. How did you solve it? That's what we want to hear. Vulnerability and problem solving, period, per se. Great. Evaluator 1, Ruben, you talked about the voice modulation, and of course, you told her about the reading eye narrative. Give an example. Swapna, you had humor statement, emotional connect, never give up as a peg point and transition. And Anand, you said about the slides and proper fumbling. For all the 3 evaluators, I just have one little thing. The CRC method. Okay, you've done it in your own style. But for me, an evaluator has got to be compatible with a speaker's speech, because the speaker takes about 5 to 10 days to do the entire thing. And when we walk in there, we need to concentrate on the content, the structure, the organization, the speech effectiveness, the speech value. What was in it for me? What did I feel about it? Was there a message in it? How was the delivery? Was the body language? The whole thing. And that's it. And be specific. If I say, where is the voice modulation? This is where I said it. The voice modulation, I did it for you. Am I right, Ankit? And I said, this is how I was specific. I didn't say you should have had voice modulation. Your mom and you, that's the space. your time, your interpersonal, the voice modulation takes a very different pitch, level, rhythm, and the whole length of the rate of words, right? Okay, fine. So use the CRC method. Great stuff, all the three evaluators, right? Effectiveness and the table topic master, Lindsay. I'm glad that you were in there. The one thing that I've always talked to table topic masters is that when you've got like 15 to 20 minutes, right? Okay, maximize the number of speakers. There are a whole lot of rookies that are guests. They're just dying to talk to them. That's the reason why they attend the meetings. One of the ways of retention in there. If I'm you, I would initiate it right away. And I would say is that rather than asking for any volunteers, I would look into the list and first call a member and say, look, Ankit, please, can you help me out with this? Once you do that, then you're not a threat anymore to anybody because then you're forthcoming and warm and approachable. The minute Ankit comes in there, then you've got the rest of it. Then you pull it out, go into the participants and list and get in there. If I'm you, instead of the 5 speakers that we had, I would have had 88 speakers in the same time. What am I doing? I'm making people speak because I'm as a Toastmaster table topic master. I'm already in the time in the limelight. I can be seen, and I've already got topics. For me, is to facilitate the maximum number of people and help them become speakers and help them realize that they've come in for a fruitful meeting where they benefited by talking about it there. Great. Okay, fine. So this is what is done in there. Haripriya, I'm glad you had the bonding family. Manas, you talked about historic figure. I actually equated with you because for me, historic, today, Jitendra Marwaria, who is in Aloka and who has been looking after people in a remote area and taking about 1,200, I'm sorry, about 600 COVID. He's a microbiologist. For me, he's an historical figure today because he's fighting the COVID all by himself in that particular state. I'm glad you said that it's today what counts and not the historic. Any person who's today is a historic figure for me. And that's our evaluations on that particular one. Divya, sky is not the limit. Good attempt. Then I spoke in there, Sapna, value yourself first. Sapna, good attempt. People concentrate on yourself and your subject. Concentrate on yourself and your subject. You're bound to succeed. Great, okay. Toastmaster of the day, that's the final one. Dnyanesh, which I came in there. I'm glad. The Mother Earth resonated. There was a lot of him there. But I wish when you did in there at some point of time, you talked about the entire thing. But what's your personal take? Maybe you're doing it after I finish up with my session in there. But when we like to hear speakers on what's their take, how do they feel about it? If Mother Earth is there, then I own responsibility and saying, as per Mother Earth today, I'm contaminating it because I'm not helping it out. I walk in brazenly and I feel I am God's gift to mankind without a mask. And I think I'm Superman and I am not doing my way. So this is what we do when we end it. I'm sure you'll take a cue and maybe you've got your script, but I'm not sure. It's a good thing that you've done. You've influenced the whole length and we did there. Thank you. Good luck, good cheer. I'm glad that I was invited. Thank you for the XCOM and Ankit for having me in here. And for all those people in here, Mother, it's waiting for you. All you got to do is use your time, the joy of giving, and give it back to Mother Earth in your own way. Be charitable. Stay home, stay connected, and good luck. Good cheer. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Lancy, for your inputs. I'll definitely take a few cues from there. And one thing that was missing from my script, the word of the day and the phrase of the day. And here they come. So what I believe is, as all of us put our foot forward and take efforts to bring Mother Earth to her enchanting beauty, I'm sure she, along with all of us, will be on cloud 9. That's all from me. Over to you, Presiding Officer, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dnyanesh, and thank you, Toastmaster Lancy, for giving such a wonderful general evaluation. I'm pretty sure today, not only the speakers and the role players, but also the participants in terms of the table topic participants and the evaluators also got a feedback. So thank you, Toastmaster Lancy, for giving such a detailed feedback. Overall, we had a wonderful session today. We had a first time Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Dnyanesh. So congratulations, Toastmaster Dnyanesh, for being a first time Toastmaster there. Before I move ahead to other speakers, let me first launch the poll for the best role player. So Toastmaster, Zoom Master, Toastmaster Sachin, can you please launch the poll for the best role player? quickly, if you can please vote for the best role player among Toastmasters of the day, table topic master, and general evaluator. Great. I think we are done. And now I would request the Zoom master to please launch the poll for the best auxiliary role player. The best auxiliary role player among the timer, R counter, grammarian, and Zoom master. You can quickly vote for that too. Great. So we are done with this too. So by the time the Zoom master prepares the certificates, I would, as I was talking about Toastmaster Dnyanesh, who was the first time Toastmaster of the day. So congratulations. Next is Toastmaster Lindsay, who was the first time table topic master. So congratulations, Toastmaster Lindsay, for doing a wonderful job as table topic master. Next, I would like to thank our speaker, Toastmaster Sneha, for coming and giving a speech at our club. And I would request you to please come and tell us about your club, and maybe you can give us the details of your club so that we can also go and visit your club. So Toastmaster Sneha, if you would like to come and just tell us about your club and
Hi.
your experience here.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. I am from Airoli Bilingual Toastmaster Club, which was opened in September last year. This is the first time I'm visiting another club for a speech. So if you guys want to take up some role, you can contact our club members for the same. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Sneha. So Airoli Bilingual is a bilingual club that it has one meeting in Hindi, one meeting in English. So it's a special kind of club that we have in Mumbai. So thanks. Next, I would quickly like to have a feedback from any guest who would like to give a feedback. If we have a guest, Pratik, if Pratik can quickly tell us how did he like about the session?
Yeah, hello everyone. So I would like to say that it was a really good session and I enjoyed it. I really learned a lot about the process of the Toastmasters, and I look forward to being a member of the club. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Pratik. We'll get in touch with you post the meeting. Thank you. Next, I would like to quickly ask Dheeraj about your feedback about the club meeting.
Hello, thank you for allowing me to attend this session, and I loved it. And the way this Toastmaster works, I'm sure, 100% sure that all of you and our together with me will improve their vocabulary and their speaking skills. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dheeraj. You rightly said Toastmasters is a very supportive environment when all of us work together for improving ourselves. So looking forward to having you in our club too as a member. Now I would request our Zoom master, Toastmaster Sachin, if he's ready with the certificates, if he can display certificates for the awards.
Yes, sir, sure.
Ready? Okay.
Yes.
So the best table topic speaker. Okay, so the best speaker goes to me, Toastmaster Ankit. So thank you everyone for voting for me. And if you can ask Sachin to quickly take a photograph.
Yes, I have taken. 1 minute. Let me just save it.
You can do full screen quickly. Okay, yeah. Great. And the next is the best table topic speaker, and that goes to Toastmaster Lancy. Toastmaster Lancy, congratulations.
Thank you.
I can ask Toastmaster Lancy to be spotlighted for the... Yes, great. Thank you, Toastmaster Lancy, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is our best evaluator, and that goes to Toastmaster Swapna. Toastmaster Swapna, if you can put on your video. Yes. So congratulations on winning the best evaluator.
Thank you, everyone.
Your face is not visible properly. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Next is our best role player, and that goes to Toastmaster Lancy as general evaluator. So Toastmaster Lancy, this is a double treat for you and also
Thank
for
you.
us. So
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next is the best auxiliary role player, and that goes to our Zoom master, Toastmaster Sachin. Congratulations, Toastmaster Sachin, on being the best auxiliary role player. I'll just spotlight you. 1 second. Yes. So congratulations. And
thank you.
And this is the first time that we are having a Zoom master as the best auxiliary role player. So that's a wonderful thing to have, because normally the Zoom master doesn't speak. He does the role back end, but today we saw him doing everything properly and just chosen the award. So congratulations. And I think with this we are done with the award ceremony. I'll now move ahead and say that we had a wonderful session today. All the role players did a wonderful job. And I also thank the role players who have come from outside our club, who have always been supportive, especially members from Agnel Toastmasters Club, that is Ruben, Anand, and other members who come from Agnel Toastmasters Club for supporting us, and also for Toastmaster Swapna for coming and being the evaluator, and Toastmaster Sneha for coming and giving the speech. I would request everyone to please turn on your video, if we can have a quick photograph to capture this memory that we have of our meeting. So I think, yes, Pratik is left and okay, cool. So if Sachin, you can take a photograph quickly. Cheers.
Yeah, done.
Great. Thank you.
Ankit, I'm coming over. You said cheers. I'm coming over.
Anytime. I'm just
Virtual.
waiting for the lockdown, and then we can have a raise of toast. Sure.
That's true.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we have our next meeting next Sunday. That is 25th. So it is, I think, 2nd of May. And 2nd of May, right? No, sorry. Yeah, 2nd of May. And we'll be having a session at the same time, 4 to 5:45 p.m. So I look forward to having you in the session. And if you want to take up roles, please get in touch with our VP Education, Toastmaster Madhuvani. And if you want to give speeches, please get in touch with them. We'll also, and also all the members, please reach out to your mentors. Toastmaster Divya will be assigning a mentor to you soon, but all the members who have been assigned mentors, please reach out to them for your speech, when you're writing a speech for your speech review, so that they review your speech. Even for your roles, you can reach out to them. They can explain you how the role is to be done, and you can come and do the role properly. And with this, we are done with the session. Thank you, everyone. And I put the session number 11 close. Thank you. Now,